Hi, my name is Halie Jo. Welcome to my yoga flow. As always, feel free to play some music today. You will need 1 or 2 blocks. You can use pillows, or if you have a blanket or something you can use, that's great too. I think that is it. We will go ahead and get started. We're going to get started in a child's pose. So knees are spread out wide, toes are together. We'll sit back, crawl the arms forward, and let the forehead or either cheek come to the mat. Just begin to arrive here to melt. If you're feeling pain or super tightness, maybe bring the knees closer together. Play with where the ankles are. Make sure they're not out wider than the knees, but go ahead and play around. You should feel pretty good. You don't want to push too hard. Each breath, maybe inhale a little bit longer, a little bit deeper into the mat below you. And exhale it out. Every inhale, the belly expands down towards the mat. Our breath pours out the mouth. Maybe after a few breaths you do feel a little looser and you want to walk the knees out a little bit so you can get a little bit deeper into those hips. Two breaths here. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, go ahead and do that now. If you've never set an intention, I challenge you to do so. It can be something you want to let go of, something you want to focus the mind on, or something you just want to keep close to your heart. Last breath here, let it pour out the mouth. On your next inhale, we're going to shift forward into a tabletop, bringing the knees below the hips. Wrists are right below the shoulders. When you feel nice and stable, drop the belly and bring your gaze to the ceiling. Cow pose. And exhale, push the earth away, tuck the navel, gaze goes to the thighs, cat. Inhale, cow. Feel free to find a bit of movement here. And exhale. Two more times at your own pace, always allowing your inhale to draw you forward. When you're ready, we'll meet in a tabletop, nice neutral spine. You have a block or something you're going to use today, keep it close by. We are probably going to use it here. I know I am. So we're gonna ground with both palms. They're nice and firm, grounding with that right knee, pushing the top of the right foot into the mat. Core is activated, and we're gonna lengthen the left leg out nice and long. Option to stay here, or you can find a block to begin to open the chest up to the ceiling a little bit. This is a nice neutral spot to begin in. If you would like a little bit more, we're going to activate the core, nice strong thigh, and extend the left fingertips up towards the sky. Your gaze can follow, really pushing in to the mat with those right fingertips, all 10 points of that hand. Each inhale, maybe we're opening up towards the ceiling a little bit more. Pinky side of the hand is curving inward. One more breath here. And on your exhale, we'll make our way back down. Left knee comes to the mat, and we'll do the other side, moving your block for your transition phase. Grounding with those hands, grounding with the left knee and left foot. We're going to extend that right leg out nice and firm. Option to bring that right hand onto a block for a nice smooth transition. Finding that balance with that left knee. And then when you're ready, option to extend the right arm up. Gaze can follow. With each breath, maybe opening up a bit towards the ceiling, pinky side of the hands curves inward. Last breath here, breathing in and exhale. Hand comes back down. Both knees meet on the mat. Beautiful. And we're going to walk the hands out, one palm print. Tuck the toes and float the hips to the sky, downward dog. This is the first downward dog of the day, so take a few breaths to find that sweet spot. Fingertips are spread out nice and wide so you can ground through all 10 points of the hand. And we're pushing the mat away like we're trying to magnet the chest onto the thighs. Feel free to pedal out the feet, wiggle the hips, do whatever feels good in the body, and as always, option to come down onto the knees. Totally fine here. Whatever you need today, whatever works for you. We're going to inhale, come onto the toes, and find your way to the top of your mat, forward fold. Feet are hips width distance apart, or big toes are together, whatever feels the best for you. Head is dangling, we're not holding it up at all. Completely let it hang to create that space in the tiny discs at the top of the spine. You can grab opposite elbows, let the hands rest on the back. Option to clasp them and let the hands fall, opening up those shoulder blades. Wherever you're at, let the body rest. Let it hang deep. We're letting these feet of ours in the mat beneath us support us. One more breath here. We're going to inhale, slowly roll one vertebra at a time, all the way up to standing. Windmill the arms up, reach and exhale them through the heart's center. We're nice and firm here. This is an active pose. Toes are spread out wide. Shoulders are strong. We're going to inhale through the nose. And exhale, bend and fold into a forward fold. Plant the hands. We're going to step back to a high plank. So instead of letting the chest dip here, we have a nice strong core and we're pushing the earth away. 2 breaths here. You go 1 inhale, shift forward, and exhale, lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes, shift the hands back by the ribs, and we're gonna push up for cobra. Hands are nice and strong, quads are squeezing tight. Breathe in through the nose, gaze goes up. And exhale out the mouth, pushing into the tops of those feet. Inhale, shift up, upward dog, and exhale back, down dog. That is your salutation for the day. Take 2 breaths here. Inhale, come onto the toes, find your way to the top of your mat, forward fold, 1 breath here. Inhale, reverse windmill, the arms up to the sky, reach, and exhale them through the heart center. We're gonna bend and fold into a forward fold. Plant the hands, step back, high plank, nice and strong. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Option to skip cobra, go straight to up dog. We're nice and strong. Exhale, downward dog. We'll do this 2 more times at your own pace, following your own breath. And inhale. Take your time getting there. When you're done, we'll meet in a downward dog. Feel free to get a drink of water. Take a breath. Alrighty, when you're ready, float that right leg to the sky. 3-legged dog. We're gonna inhale, chin to knee to chest. Plant that right foot in between the hands or as close as you can get it. We're gonna walk the hands to the inside of the mat. We're in a wide-legged forward fold. Toes are pointed forward or angled out, just not in. Option to grab one of your blocks here. Whatever you need for support, if you would like to meet the hands higher up. You can have a tiny bend in the knees. With each breath, allow yourself to get a deeper fold into the mat. can move the feet closer together or further apart. Play with what you're using for support. Can play with the positioning of the hands. This is your practice, so find that fold for yourself. We'll be here for a few breaths. So settle in to this pose. Three more breaths. Maybe letting the head and the upper body hang a little bit deeper. Last breath. Good, and we're gonna bring ourselves up using the hands so we're nice and stable. And we're gonna walk the feet in, might feel a little funky, to about shoulder width apart. Toes will point out, and we're gonna lower the sits bones down into a squat here. We want a nice tall spine, so if you feel like you're kind of folding over like this, use those elbows in the knees to push, make space for this upper body. Hands can be at the chest. Option to bring a block or a pillow beneath the sits bones here and lower down onto it. This still feels super awesome. Sometimes I prefer it. It allows you to focus here on what the upper body is doing and less on staying stable in the feet. 2 breaths here. Option to stay right here or to kind of alter between a squat and using the block. If you are with me today, we are going to play with a crow pose a little bit. So it's an arm balancing pose. And I'm actually gonna turn to the side so it's easier for you guys to see me, but you guys can stay put. I like to show it with the blocks first because this is a good tool when you're first learning the pose. It helps get into it a little bit. So we're gonna wrap the hands around the blocks like so. Feet are staying the same. We're in a squat. And you're gonna lengthen the tailbone up to the sky without changing anything. Once the knees and the elbows are pretty close together, might need to walk the blocks in a little bit so they're touching. Hands start to grip. We're gonna bring the knees right above the elbow and begin to shift forward. Maybe one foot comes up. Maybe they both do for crow. Feet are pointed, and we're kind of hiking those ankles up towards the sits bones to help balance, and gaze is directly in front of you, out a little bit. Option to use those blocks. They're really a great tool. If you want to play without the blocks, same concept, but fingers are spread out nice and wide. And again, 1 foot at a time. Gaze is out in front on the mat. We're breathing through this. Couple breaths here, so feel free to play around. It's okay to fall. That means you're learning something new. Go ahead and keep playing. I will let you know when we're going to move on so you don't miss anything. About 3 more breaths here. And last breath. Good job, guys. I can't see you, but I'm sure you guys just did fantastic. We're gonna plant the hands and extend the tailbone long for a forward fold here. Letting the head hang, maybe shifting from side to side. If you love just how this forward fold feels, feel free to stay here. Option to wrap the pointer finger and thumb around that big toe. And we're going to gently pull, elbows will point outwards, pull ourselves into a deeper fold here. Checking in with the breath. Maybe the chest meets the thighs. Feel free to bend the knees so we do get that chest-thigh contact. Totally fine to bend the knees here. It's a hamstring stretch, so if that amplifies the stretch here, even better. If you're not loving this, another option to get deeper into this stretch is to bring the fronts of the feet up and slide the hands beneath the foot. You can kind of give yourselves a little hand massage by playing with the pressure. This is also another good way to get a deeper fold. Wherever you're at, we'll take 3 more breaths here. On your last exhale, gently release the feet. Beautiful. And you're gonna lower the sits bones down to the mat, coming on to the bum. Beautiful job, guys. We're gonna lower down all the way to the mats. Take a breath here. Been doing a lot of stretching. Legs might feel a little gooey. I love that feeling, so. We're gonna bring the knees into the chest. Maybe roll around a bit, massage that lower spine. Self massages are always good, right? Especially when we sneak them into a yoga practice. Beautiful. We're gonna pull the knees out towards the side, kind of like you're giving birth. And then we're gonna extend the arms in between the legs and out, grabbing the outer edges of the feet for happy baby. We're gonna pull the toes back towards our face. And another option here is to just grab the big toes if this feels better for you. Sometimes this stretch is a little too much, depending on how tight we are that day, how loose the hips are, all that good stuff. So in happy baby, I like to remind myself and everyone, the shoulders are locked down to the mat, so we're not pulling them up. If you're pulling them up, maybe we release a little bit so they can be nice and socketed to the mat. We're also pushing up with the feet as we're also actively pulling down with the hands, and that's really where we get that shoulder mat contact. Feel free to move around, massage that back. Or if stillness is what you need right now, that's totally fine too. Option to play around with lengthening one leg at a time. Might feel a pretty deep stretch in the IT band here. Two more breaths here. Gently release. We're gonna bring the bottoms of both feet together, coming into a reclined butterfly. Knees are out to the sides. Option here to put a block or a pillow or anything beneath the thigh bones at any point between the hips and the knees. So the closer into the hips they are, the more support you'll get. The further out, the deeper the stretch. Hands are on the belly, down by the sides or above the head. Feeling that belly inflates into the hands on the inhale and deflate on our exhales. Allowing the body, the breath to soften a bit. Our work, stretching. Power our bodies can show what's behind you. Power our minds can show. It's really important here. Will carry us through the remainder of our practice today. Our bodies are so strong, stronger than we think. I can assure you, though, that your mind is much, much stronger. Option to take Shavasana from this pose today can feel good sometimes. If you'd like to take a traditional Shavasana, go ahead and extend the arms and legs out long. Toes can fall out to the sides. Letting the breath soften even more. Give yourself permission to find complete stillness. Something we rarely ever do. Thoughts start to trickle in. Just let them pass. If they're important, they'll still be there when you're done. If they're not important, maybe it's for the best. Like to remain in Shavasana, which I challenge you to do so. Take a nice long Shavasana as long as you can stay here. Please remain. If you'd like to finish your practice with me, begin to invite tiny movements back into the body, deepening the breath. Gonna gently roll into a ball on either side of your body. some peace in this grounding pose we typically rush through. The fetal position, peace that this pose brings human bodies, the comfort of being in a ball, of feeling safe. When you're ready, using your hands in as little effort as possible, meet me in a seated position. Eyes can close, palms can be up or down on the knees. Just refine that breath. Hold gratitude in your heart for the time you just carved out for yourself on your mat. It's a hard thing to do, and you should be grateful to yourself for making it happen. For giving the mind some space in this crazy, chaotic world we live in. To focus on you so you can be better for not only yourself, but everyone else around you. And that's why we do yoga, isn't it? Take one deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Bring the hands together at your heart center. I'm so happy you're here, and thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you again for coming, for watching. Again, my name is Halie Jo, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.